Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Euro 2020 fantasy football content. My name is Dan and today I've got for you a video all about my team and how I'm getting on in Euro fantasy. We're going to be going through my scores from matchday 2 and then looking forward to matchday 3 and how I'm going to set up with my wildcard team. It's going to be a really weird match day. It certainly is. There's going to be a lot of rotation. There's going to be a lot of upsets around the whole tournament. Not everyone's going to be able to get it right. We're not all going to be able to predict it with 100% certainty, but we got to give it a good old go. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, guys. So if you do enjoy what you see today, please do leave a like. Really helps out the channel. And of course, subscribe if you're new around here as we try and get to 60,000 subscribers by the end of the Euros. I think we can do it, but I can only do it with your help if you are not subscribed already. So guys, let's have a look first of all at my matchday 2 scores. So I'm recording this video just after the France game has finished, so we still have Alba to play. So this is not a complete score, but it's pretty much complete. We're pretty much there. So yes, we have improved our rank by quite some significant margin. I think we're around 40,000th at the end of last match day, and we're all the way up to 18,000. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good improvement. I do think I'm going to go up a little bit more today as well, just because of that Griezmann return and potentially Alba returning as well. If he gets a clean sheet against Poland, maybe he gets something else. We'll see. Maybe by the time you watch this, you already know. So yeah, hopefully we can push up just a little bit more. Overall, I think it went pretty well, to be fair. Olsen paid off as the goalkeeper straight away. I hoped he'd make a couple of saves, but it didn't happen. Spinazzola, amazing. Dumfries, oh my god, what an absolute hero. Guys, if you put him in your team as well, you must be so happy, because what a result. 14 points. And if anyone out there captain Dumfries as well, let me know in the comments, because you must be absolutely buzzing, which I completely understand. What a result that is. But yeah, overall really good. A strong through midfield as well. Maybe a few clean sheets there. Sterling, Wijnaldum and Insigne all getting clean sheets, so I don't know, I'll take the extra point from each of them. Perisic scored a really nice goal. Yarmolenko with a goal and an assist. And then Mbappe, I think he should have got the assist really, but he was my captain in the end. And Griezmann, 6 points, he got the goal. I did think Mbappe maybe could have possibly been given the assist there. That would have been a bit nicer. But the big tragedy of this match day, and you guys who follow me on Twitter will already know this, is that I tried to set Yarmolenko as my captain on day 2, and it didn't work. For whatever reason, maybe I didn't click save, maybe I lost internet connection when I did it. To be fair, I did leave it fairly last minute, so maybe there's a lesson to be learned there. I'm not the first person this has happened to. It's really annoying, because, you know, I would have been, what was it, 8 points better off if that captain had gone through, if I had a Yarmolenko captain, because at 10 points, there was no way I would have changed that as well. So guys, yeah, I mean, if you don't believe me, you can obviously go over to my Twitter and see. I'd literally posted a tweet saying, come on, let's go Yarmolenko captain. And then the game kicked off, I checked my phone and was like, oh my god, why is Yarmolenko not my captain? Absolute nightmare. It happens. Lesson learned, guys. I hope that maybe by me making this mistake, it might deter you, a few of you guys, from making a mistake. Making sure you just check it, double check it, triple check it. Make sure you do it with you know, an hour to spare at least, just in case things go wrong, because things sometimes do go wrong apparently. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that one. But overall, look, I can't complain, because it's a strong match day 2 score. It's put me up in the ranks quite a lot. It would be nice to finish on a high at the end of the group stages and maybe get into the top 10,000 places. I think it's very possible, and then we can just push on and see what we can do as we go into the knockout stages. But yeah, guys, I think that's enough about my match day 2 team. Not bad. Could have been better if I actually captained Yarmolenko, but whatever. Let's see how I'm going to set up for match day 3. So, new week, wildcard, fresh team again, completely new team every single week. It's so exciting, guys. Just picking an entire new team every single time. It's pretty fun. So guys, let me show you what I am doing. So we're going to start off with Radetzky in a goal, just the best cheap option, right? 4.2 million he's up to now, but I picked him up at 4, so I'm pretty happy with that, just to have the nice cheap the nice cheap player there. And if it doesn't work against Belgium, I really don't think it will work against Belgium, but you never know. We could save a penalty again. Belgium, for whatever reason, might not score on the day. Stranger things have happened. You know, he might pick up like 10 points just from making so many saves. You don't know, do you? But you've got to be in it to win it. So that's why you just try with a cheap goalkeeper. And if it doesn't pay off, then you switch to the more premium goalkeeper who's going to be on my bench, which we'll visit, obviously, eventually. So, yes, going on into defence, let's get a bit more interesting. Of course, we've got Spinazzola. Spinazzola, he's just one of my favourite players. I'm sure you guys can tell by now. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to start or not, but the great thing about Italy is that they always seem to play first, don't they? So if you're the team that plays first, then it's very easy to make a switch if the player isn't playing, because we get the team news an hour before the game even kicks off, an hour to change our teams, but depending on the Italy team news. So Spinazzola, he can easily switch out to Emerson if needed, or another one of the defenders. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but Spinazzola is kind of there as a placeholder for now. I would love it if he plays because I think he's fantastic. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's fine. But yeah, guys, in a match day like this, it's probably going to be a good idea to go for a couple of Italy players just because you have the safety net of you knowing that they're actually going to play. But we'll move on to Mela back in the team from match day 1. A little bit disappointed in him in the first match day. Second match day looked a little bit better, well, a lot better. I mean, Denmark in general just looked really, really good in that game that they played against Belgium, wasn't it? Sorry, I drew a blank for a second. Yeah, Belgium. They actually looked really good, and until De Bruyne came on at half-time, it looked like Denmark were going to win the game. They looked fantastic. Look, this is the last game they've got against Russia. They probably think that they can beat Russia. They definitely can beat Russia. And they have to win this game, basically, if they want to have any chance of staying in the tournament, which I'm sure they really do want to stay in the tournament. They show some real spirit in that last game. So, really like Mela in the second game. I thought he was brilliant. Really, really attacking, super, bombing forward, trying to make crosses and trying to take shots. Looked amazing, looked really good. So definitely a player that I'm very, very much interested in for this game against Russia. And then we're going to finish off with Wijndal, a player who's kind of been unlucky to not feature so far. Everyone thought that he was going to be playing every game for the Netherlands. As it turns out, yeah, he hasn't been playing. But what better opportunity for him to come on the pitch than the third group stage with Netherlands already qualified. They've got an amazing fixture against North Macedonia, who haven't really threatened too much in attack, to be honest. I don't think they've, other than the penalty, I don't really think they've taken many shots in the box or anything, really. Well, maybe they've taken a couple, but certainly not a lot. They're not creating a lot of high-quality chances, which lends itself to a clean sheet. So if we can get ourselves a nice Netherlands defender to play against North Macedonia, then I think that would be pretty good, to be honest. So Wijndal is going to be the player I'm going for, just because out of the defenders who I think are going to play, really, really tough to call who's going to start and who isn't. I do think Netherlands are going to make some changes, but not a lot of changes. And if they are going to make a change, then Wijndal's got to be one of those players who's going to come in. You would say he's probably the most likely of the players who haven't started yet. You'd say that he's probably the most likely to come to this team. Maybe, probably. Anyway, this is just predictions, guys. That's all I can do is just make my best guess, and that is my best guess. So let's move on to midfield anyway. We'll start you off with Perisic, who, if I'm completely honest with you guys, the only reason, or one of the only reasons I've gone for Perisic is because he's the only player to play on the 23rd. I think it's the 23rd. On that day, it's England's group. Those teams are playing, and those are the only teams playing on that day. So it's Croatia versus Scotland and England versus the Czech Republic. Those are the only two games on that day. And in order to try and cover every single day, with our captains, we want to have at least one captain option on each day. So you need to pick any player from those teams. And Perisic, I think he played really well. Yesterday, when I watched him before the England game, I did sit down and watch the Croatia-Czech Republic game. Perisic is just, I think he's class, and the shot he took was an absolute monster of a shot. It was really, really quite classy. So, yeah, he's going to be my guy against Scotland. Obviously, Scotland are going to have to win this game, so they're going to have to come out their shell a little bit in this game. Scotland probably think this game is winnable as well. I don't think they'll be celebrating a draw against Croatia. And Croatia, they're also kind of in the mud as well. They they need to get something. They've only got 1 point on the board so far, same as Scotland. Both of these teams, they're playing for the win. So let's see what happens there. I've got Yarmolenko again. Maybe this time I can actually set him to captain. No, well, actually, this time he's not actually one of my captain options. But, yeah, whatever. He's back in the team. He was a great pick to start with, to be honest. And he's a great pick again. He's been one of the players of the tournament. This is going to be a really important game for both Ukraine and Austria as they try and seek getting through into the knockout stages. I think one of them's got to do it, maybe even both get it. Who knows what can happen in football? But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how attacking this game is, because I don't really rate Austria's defense. I don't really rate Ukraine's defense. Could this be therefore a pretty open game and plenty of goals? I'm hoping so, which is why I've got Yarmolenko, because he is just basically a striker. He loves taking shots. He's the main man at Ukraine, and he's just playing fantastically. And yeah, and he's a midfielder, so you get an extra point for a goal, and you get a point for a clean sheet. Not that a clean sheet's ever going to happen, but you get my point. We move on to Chiesa. Again, this could change depending on the Italy lineup. Obviously, that could go to Berardi potentially, but I'm putting Chiesa in there as a placeholder because I think out of the wingers, I think he is probably most likely to start this game. Who knows? We'll see. So that could be changed up. But I do want to have a second Italy player in there just for the safety net of kind of having players who are actually definitely 100% gonna start there. And I do like Chiesa. I think he's a really good player, and he's had a fantastic season with Juventus, and I think he can translate that into international football. We just need to have him on the pitch for a little bit more time and see a little bit more of what he can offer, because he clearly can offer something to this Italy team. And Wales, on paper, probably not the best defence in the tournament. I think probably you guys will probably agree that Wales are not the best defence in the tournament. On paper, anyway. Look, anything can happen in football, obviously, but you've got to make your best guess, as I keep saying. And finally, De Bruyne. He's my big premium of this whole team, really. It's really, really rare circumstance. In Matchday 3, there's going to be so much rotation because all of the big teams are going to be rotating their team massively. If they've got through, if they're through already, there's going to be rotations. There's going to be players rested and ready for the group stages. It's going to happen to a lot of teams, and Belgium is going to be one of those teams that's going to rotate heavily. But the advantage we have with De Bruyne is that he's only played 45 minutes of football at the tournament so far. So when we're talking about rotating players, resting some players, De Bruyne is actually a player who needs the game time. He's in the opposite situation. He actually needs to play, which is going to be huge because it's a game against Finland, which is typically a good fixture to have. De Bruyne is clearly not returning to football slowly. He's returning to football with an absolute bang, a goal and assist in his 45 minutes of football. Let's see what he can do with a little bit of longer time. So yeah, this could be huge. Definitely a captain option as well, and probably the most safe premium option to go for in your fantasy team this week. And then let's finish off with the forwards here. We've got Memphis Depay. I think a lot of people in the Netherlands, and listening to some of the comments made by De Boer, the Netherlands manager, the coach, it kind of feels like there's not going to be huge rotation for this Netherlands team, as they want to make sure they continue practicing the new system, the new 5 at the back system that they've been working on, and also to try and keep the momentum going into the to the knockout stages. So quite different to what a lot of managers will say, we're more likely to rotate. I think in this particular circumstance, there are going to be a few players who are going to be starting, and I think if Memphis Depay is asked, okay, do you want to rest for this game? He will say yes. He will say, no, I don't want to be rested. He will say, yes, I want to play. I really want to play in this game, because he wants to be a star at this tournament. He's probably not 100% happy with his performances so far, and he clearly has the desire, and he really wants to do really well. He's on free kicks, penalties, blah 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 blah, and he wants to put in some performances and score a few more goals for the Netherlands. So I think he is a good candidate of a player who won't be rotated. Obviously, there's risk there, guys. There's always going to be risk. You can't really get away from that in this match day. There's always going to be risks, but you've got to take 1 or 2 in your team, as well as going for the safety options. We've also got, we'll talk about Marlon next, because we may as well, because he's Netherlands as well. If I were to predict the Netherlands lineup, they would line up with Depay and Marlon as the 2 strikers. I think people in the Netherlands, guys, if you're from the Netherlands, let me know if you agree with me or not. Hopefully I've got this right, but the idea is that you guys over there are just desperate to see Donyell Marlon play a little bit more football, get on the pitch, start a game, and see what he can do for you. So I think this is a perfect opportunity. Netherlands already qualified. He's a very, very good striker. He's had some, two good seasons now in the Eredivisie. So yeah, let's see what he can do. I think he is very likely to play, and even if he doesn't, it's probably because Depay is playing instead. So one of these 2 is definitely going to play. basically. There's no way that both of these get dropped. So in a way, I'm covering myself, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And then we finish off with Yaremchuk, who for me has been the best player for Ukraine. I think he has been really, really, really impressive, to be fair. And he's already scored 2 goals and got an assist. And is in an attacking Ukraine team that are brilliant to watch. He's the only striker. He's the only out-and-out striker, really, in the team as well. So he's hopefully going to have another big game as Ukraine seek qualification, all to play for. Good team to play against in Austria. Looks really nice to me. I really like the look of that. So let's move on to my bench very quickly. We have got Szczesny as the main goalkeeper, I guess. So yeah, guys, Hradeski's going to start first, and then if it doesn't pay off, which it probably won't, that's fine. We'll switch to Szczesny against Sweden, mostly because I don't really feel like Sweden have really posed too much attacking threat outside of like Isak. Isak has been the only real thing that's impressed me about this Sweden attack, to be honest. The only goal that Sweden have scored this tournament is the penalty that Emil Forsberg scored. So I don't know. I just feel like Sweden are not really impressing. They've got their 4 points that they need to qualify for the next round. Poland, I'm assuming, are going to have a lot more to play for. Well, I mean, they are going to have more to play for. So, yeah, overall, I kind of feel like this is the one. And you know, maybe some Poland fans are frustrated with Szczesny, mostly because he scored an own goal. I don't really think it was his fault, really. But he's, you know, obviously a very good goalkeeper. And, yeah, I think he can do the business against Sweden, who are, you know, qualified, not really offering much in attack anyway, other than Isak, who is obviously amazing. So yeah, that's kind of all of my thoughts on that one. We've got Serge Gnabry, who is, you know, a striker listed as a midfielder, so it's fantastic. I think Germany have actually been quite impressive in that game against France. You know, fair enough, they didn't get a goal, but they were very attacking, and they did create a lot of chances, and they did actually kind of impress me. The Germany game is on now in the other room, so I don't know what the score is. I'm going to go finish watching the game after I finish recording this video, and hopefully watch some highlights later as well to catch up on the bits I missed. But yeah, Gnabry, striker who's listed as a midfielder. You can't really go wrong there. It's against Hungary. I know Hungary managed to draw with France, but they also managed to they actually gave up quite a few chances against France, to be fair. France perhaps unlucky not to score a couple of goals in the first half. In fact, very unlucky not to score in the first half. It was quite frustrating to watch at some points. And obviously, Portugal scored 3 goals against them. So, I mean, it's not always about, oh, maybe we're underrated Hungary. They give up chances at the end of the day, and they've conceded 4 goals this tournament, and that's good enough for me. Germany are going to have a lot to play for since they lost their first game. Don't know how they're getting on in this game against Portugal. Maybe they win, maybe they don't. I don't know. You guys will know by the time this video comes out, of course. So yeah, going for him. And then Goossens, again, looks really good. Really super attacking left back against Hungary. Clean sheet, maybe an attack in return if he does push up. You know, you guys will know I like these really ultra attacking players. You know, who are basically playing left mid, right mid, who are actually listed as defenders. I really like those. So he's another one who I'm going for there. And Pau Torres, very very bargain priced defender there. And against Slovakia, I don't think Spain have definitely qualified. They've obviously drawn their first game. Who knows what the result is going to be later. I would assume that they might win, but even so, that leaves them on 4 points. Still might have to do a little bit to get over the line there. So, yeah, hopefully a relatively strong team, including super budget, amazing priced for a Spain defender, Pau Torres. So, there you go, pretty much, guys. We'll go through my captains very quickly. So, day 1 captain is going to be Spinazzola. You know, a nice risky one to start off the week. We've seen some of the scores that some fullbacks at this tournament have given us so far. You know, Meunier, Spinazzola in the first match day, Wijndal in match day 2. There's some big scores there. So, risky one on the first day. Second day, I think it would be rude not to go for Kevin De Bruyne for a captain. On the third day, if neither of the first 2 have paid off, then we could go for Perisic. And then we can finish off on the 4th day with Serge Gnabry against Hungary. And that will be my whole team. There you go. There's all the captains. There's all the players. I'm not 100%. There might be a few changes. I'll let you know tomorrow in stream, obviously. There you go, guys. What do you think? Am I missing anyone obvious? Am I, you know, maybe Maybe I've got a player in there who you think, oh, I'm not sure about that one. Look at this team. Tell me what you think, guys. I'm always interested to hear your comments. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video today. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. If you are new around here and you want to see more fantasy football tips all in your life, then subscribe, please. I'll really appreciate that as we march towards 60,000 subscribers, which would be so awesome. Yeah, but guys, like I said, I'm going to do a stream, a deadline stream tomorrow. We'll go over my final team. We'll have a chat. We'll talk live, won't we? And we'll answer some questions and do the early team news and stuff like that. We'll do it all on the stream, so do make sure you try and join me over there, and we'll try and help you out the best we can, really. I'll keep doing my research. But guys, yes, I am going to go and finish off watching this game of football. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.